Ladies and gentlemen, CocoSports.com proudly presents the Boom Boom Room. And of course, I am the sexiest man on all Internet Wrestling Radio. That's right, Boom Boom here, shaking the room, live from the RVA, talking about Richmond, Virginia. Well, kids, it's time for our pretty much customary pay-per-view profits. Of course, NXT presenting TakeOver Unstoppable Wednesday night, only on the WWE Network or via computer magic, wink. So if you want to watch it, normally some of you are wondering, well, where the hell is Dave? Well, Dave Kagos has come down with a big case of who gives a fuck. I can't reach him, and I'm not about to stay up late and do this shit. So I'm going to go ahead and do pay-per-view profits now. So let me explain to you how the game works here. It's quite simple. For those of you who have not played, anybody can play. The contest is open for anyone. What we're going to do is we're going to run down the list of matches at NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. And basically, you're going to tell me who you think is going to win. You put your picks down here in the comments section right here below me. And if you get a correct pick, well, you get a point. And coming into the pay-per-view, the person with the most correct picks or points is the winner, and therefore the pay-per-view profit. Now, there will also be tiebreaker questions. So be sure when you put in your picks, also be sure to put in the answers to your tiebreaker questions, because I cannot stress how very important that is. We've had more that we've had. I could probably count on both hands now how many times a champion has been determined by a single tiebreaker. So please get those in. So without further ado, I just want to know, first of all, from everybody, are you excited about this? You know, I am absolutely thrilled about this. More so than, you know, Payback. Now, I didn't watch Payback because really I've been pissed off with WWE as of late. And I really didn't watch Raw, even though it was in my hometown of Richmond, Virginia, or adopted hometown now. It's where I'm living. I didn't go well, for a couple of reasons. One, I had to work super early the next morning. And then two, again, I'm just, you know, disgruntled with WWE and the lackluster product. And sure enough, you know, like the second fucking good Raw of the year happens to be like the one I fucking missed. So, you know, fuck me, right? Whatever. But NXT is something I'm looking forward to. Now, this is going to be interesting because after recent developments, it's completely shaken up my picks and how I think things are going to work. So, kids, if you are ready, we're going to dive into this. Well, I really can't. I don't know if we can really call it. You know what? For all practical purposes, this is a pay-per-view, because even though technically you're not paying out the yin-yang for it, it's not on traditional pay-per-view. It's on the WWE Network, and you have to pay to get that. And now that, you know, pretty much all the pay-per-views are on WWE Network. Yeah, for all practical purposes, yeah, this is a pay-per-view profit. So let's dive in, shall we? All right, now there's only about 5-6 matches that they've got signed here. And let's go ahead and run them down here. First match we've got coming out the gate, we're talking about Baron Corbin versus Rhino. All right, Baron Corbin versus Rhino. Of course, WWE bringing Rhino back in somewhat of a trainer role, kind of like what they did with David Heath, the former Gangrel, over in Deep South Wrestling down in Georgia. It's just a reliable veteran that they can put in the ring to work with the younger talent to, you know, have a good match. Corbin, now, this is getting a little interesting here. They're showing us a different side, which I kind of like. Now, he came in as the lone wolf, you know, I'm going to beat you in under 60 seconds. The crowd was counting with it. But ever since he decided to tangle up with Rhino, he's been getting some boos. So I don't know if they're going to just do the full-fledged heel turn and maybe do something different with them. But to be honest, I really think that's the best move for Baron Corbin at this point, because Corbin, you know, his shtick was getting stale. I mean, they established him, then they put him in just regular matches with Adrian Neville, then a program with Bull Dempsey, and then he went right back to squashing people. So people were like screaming, let us see something different. And I think NXT has answered that call. So for me, while I don't think this match is going to go particularly long, and that's, you know, pay attention to this, kids, this is going to come back into play later. Wink. I'm going to go with Baron Corbin. My pick is going to be Baron Corbin to take the win, because I think they can do a lot more with him going forward as a heel, and then getting him past Rhino than having just Rhino just, you know, drag him out for a 10-minute match, than just beating him with the gore. That's where I stand on that one. Next, we got the tag team championships. The tag team championships are on the line. The champions, the Dubstep Cowboys, as we like to call them here at CocoSports.com. Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy taking on the tag team of Enzo Amore and Big Cass, Colin Cassidy. Wow, now over the past couple of weeks, my picks have changed. I mean, they're all over the place with this match. You know, of all the things on NXT, I will tell you straight up, I think that the tag division is the weakest they've ever been right now because they lost the Ascension and the Lucha Dragons. They've had to put the Vaudevillains up on the shelves. They broke up the Legionnaires. They broke up Jason Jordan and Ty Dillinger. Yeah, I know you're just choked up about that, but hear me out. You've just really got a serious lack of tag teams here. So they put the belts on a couple of hard workers, which I applaud. Now, I know a lot of people shit on, but I don't hate Blake and Murphy. I think they've got a pretty good shtick going. Do I think they're ready to go up to the main roster? No, not by a long shot. But I don't think they're as bad as some people are making them out to be. Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy absolutely just got a ton of charisma. These guys will be fucking stars. I think they need to get, personally, I think they need to get a little bit better in the ring before they're advanced up in the roster or up to the main roster, excuse me. But, I mean, these guys are fucking over. People like, I mean, they're fun to be around. They're entertaining to watch. I mean, they've got a lot of charisma going out to the ring. You want to see, I mean, people can cite verbatim their whole intro music. My name is Enzo Amore. Hey, come on, guys. You know right now in your head you're saying the whole shtick right now. You're doing, that's how over it is. So looking at this, you know, I actually praised the Blake and Murphy for trying to get into Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy's head by using Carmella, because Carmella, out of that, you know, being the valet of Cass and Enzo, I thought, okay, she's, you know, she's not over as the other two. She's getting booed. She was getting booed at live events. The fans really aren't into her. Maybe NXT would use that excuse to turn her heel and put her with Blake and Murphy. But in the past couple of weeks, I don't think that's the case. If you watched the last episode, I mean, come on, you know, Blake and Murphy tried to woo her with flowers, with jewelry. And I thought, okay, they're setting up for a heel turn. Well, then they cost her a match. Then they interfered in her last match against Alexa Bliss. Actually, kind of taking a, you know, like you flip the page of professional wrestling. Usually, you have a woman come up and distract a man. You know, maybe kiss him, just do something to take his eye off the ball just long enough to have his opponent recover and get one over on him. This was the opposite. You had two guys, you know, like, oh, interfering with a woman distracted her, and it distracted Carmella long enough for Bliss to take advantage of it and get the win. So I like how they flipped it over. And with that being said, I'm going to go something crazy here. I mean, Blake and Murphy have attacked Enzo and Cass backstage. I mean, they've been all over Carmella. They've gotten on their nerves. I'm thinking the good guys are going to get their comeuppance, or excuse me, the bad guys will get their comeuppance, and the good guys, Enzo and Cass, are going to come out the winners with the tag team titles. And the reason I think this is, right now, Enzo and Cass are the only face tag team you've got. And if you have Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake retain the titles, I don't think you can go anywhere with it. I mean, you're going to have to either pull up a new tag team or turn somebody face that's not over, that's not established. But if you put the belts on Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy, you can bring back the Vaudevillains to challenge. You can push Angelo Dawkins and God, I was thinking not Scott Dawson and Sultan. No, I think it was actually Sultan Fuller. Take two. Scott. There was Dawson and Sawyer, Dawkins. Ah, shit! I just fucked this up. Somebody's right down here in the damn comment. It was like the Mechanics and then like two members of the former Shoot Nation. You know who the fuck I'm talking about. But you've got them involved, and I think, you know, you have like a ton of challengers here. Now you can kind of get some traction with the tag team division and build up some more tag teams. But to do that, you need to put the belts on some faces, and then it's, you know, line them up one after one, challenger after challenger, challenging Enzo and Cass. And who knows, that might be the kick in the pants that Enzo and Cass need to ride that momentum all the way up to the main roster. We can hope. We can dream. Right? Right? Yeah, of course I'm right. All right, next here, after the tag team match, we've got Sasha Banks defending the women's championship against her former protege, Becky Lynch. You know, in the contract signing, which didn't go smoothly, I know, shocker, imagine that. Banks got Lynch to essentially tap out to the bank statement. These two, former, partners. Sasha got Becky to turn on Bailey. They kind of fought each other around. That four-way they had the last pay-per-view, which in my opinion was the match of the night, outshined the guys. Ever since then, Becky's been on her own, and now she's got her target set on Sasha Banks. Looking at this, I expect this to be – I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to say this is going to be match of the night. I know. Look, I know what you're thinking. There's all these other cool matches here, and I agree with you, but think about it. Every time the women have been given the ball, every time they've been given time, they have blown us away. I don't think they've had a bad women's match when on these special events on the takeovers. I don't think they have actually had, at least not since they've been televising them on the network. I don't think they've had one, and I don't think this will be any exception. These are both great female wrestlers. They can both go. I think they're both ready for call-ups on the main roster. But then again, I think pretty much the whole women's division, with the exception of Bliss and Carmella, I think they're all ready to go. So I'm looking forward to great things with this. I'm looking for Banks to win. With the bank statement, to be honest, that's what I'm looking for to happen there. And not to be outdone, we got a tag team match here coming up. We got Charlotte teaming up with Bailey to take on newcomer Dana Brooke and Emma, or Dark Emma, as some of the fans are jokingly calling her now. Again, this is a great woman. I mean, I like all four of these women involved. I don't completely hate Dana Brooke. She's actually got a pretty decent finishing maneuver. In fact, a lot of these girls do. I think a lot of the women here have better finishing maneuvers than a lot of the men do. So that's pretty fucking cool. So far, Dana Brooke, I'm interested to see how she can go in a longer match. She's done pretty good. She's beat Bailey. She's beat Blue Pants. So she's done pretty good in terms of like squash matches. But this will be her first test. They're going to try to ease her in. So they put her with a veteran. They put her with Emma. They won't weave this storyline around. All four of these women have animosity towards each other, or one group towards the other group, I should say. This will be a test for Dana Brooke to see how she reacts in a big time live crowd without editing. How she reacts, in when it's go time, in a longer match. So I think it's a perfect way to break her in. Bailey, go team. I'm on Team Bailey. Go Bailey. Charlotte, why has she not been called up yet? I thought that was the whole reason she dropped the belt, so she could get called up. I know she's worked some live events and like dark matches and stuff, and I think maybe she's even worked some main events or superstars. Main events or superstars, either one. I know she's worked some of that stuff, but why is she not on the main roster? I have no idea. Going forward, you know what? I think they're going to kind of give us a feel-good moment. I'm going to go with Charlotte and Bailey just because I can't go against my heart. I can't go against my homegirl Bailey. I can't. Call me a mark, call me whatever, call me a hopeless romantic. Just call me hopeless. I don't care. But I'm going with my heart, And if you go with your heart, are you ever really wrong? Well, I guess Dave Kokotis would say, yes, you can be. All right. Next year, number one contendership. The schedule match was supposed to be Prince Pretty himself, Tyler Breeze, versus Finn Balor versus Hideo Itami. The winner would, of course, become the new number one contender to the NXT Championship at TakeOver. Well, if you've been reading the dirt sheets, and I know you have, Hideo Itami, Triple H has said that he will be represented, but he will not be competing. He suffered, take two, he suffered a shoulder injury. So apparently it's some kind of live event in the past few weeks. Will not be able to participate. Now, this could be interesting. Will it be a one-on-one match? Will they bring up a third competitor? Who could that possibly be? Will they bring them there to fill space? Or will they shock the world by having somebody new come in? You know, I know some people talked around maybe Uhaa Nation will debut, or maybe Samoa Joe will debut, and they'll win and become the new #1 contender and shock us all. You know, non-advertised, they'll go crazy with the booking. To be honest, I really don't think that's going to be the case. Well, then again, that could be another tiebreaker question. So, looking at it on paper, Tyler Breeze has been amazing. Why he hasn't been called up, I don't know. He's been there for 4 years. Finn Balor, I absolutely love, as Dave Krakos would say, more than a straight man should. And I hate it for Hideo Itami, especially knowing that he could be out anywhere from 6 months, I think minimum 6 months, maybe up to a year, depending on how any surgery, if necessary, or rehab goes. Absolutely hate it for him, but you know, the show must go on, and if the show must go on, the new #1 contender, in my opinion, should be, well, the Irishman himself, Finn Balor. So that's going to be my pick. Going to go with Finn Balor. He's going to, and there was even rumors that he's going to do some new face paint. So that could be interesting as well, interesting side attraction. So absolutely love that. And then we get to the main event, something we've all wanted to see. Pretty much, if you don't know anything about this match, you probably don't need to be watching this podcast. Talking about the rematch, Kevin Owens defending against Sami Zayn, an injured Sami Zayn. Zayn, like Hideo Itami, has suffered a shoulder injury. He had actually suffered it earlier, took some time off to kind of rehab it a little bit, came back, re-injured it in that Raw match against John Cena in Montreal a couple of weeks ago. Still had the guts to finish the match, so hats off to Sami Zayn for doing that. And I guess I'd be remiss to not even mention Kevin Owens' appearance on Raw. He absolutely just floored John Cena. He scored a match with him at Elimination Chamber, stepped on the U.S. title, held up the NXT title. I knew they were teasing a big event at I know they were teasing a huge event at for NXT at Raw, but I didn't think they were going to go just batshit crazy like that. Well, so I'm thinking that's going to be interesting. Now, this is something here that I want to know. You know, how do you book this without, you know, making Zayn look bad? Because I'm thinking this should be like Rocky 3, because Rocky 3, it starts out, he's the champion. And by the way, if I'm spoiling this to you, this movie's like 30 years old. You should have fucking watched it by now. You know, Rocky's the champion. You know, Clubber Lang comes in. You ain't never beat nobody because you ain't fought me yet. And he steps in the ring with Clubber Lang and he gets beat. I mean, just gets bludgeoned to death. And Mick dies and Rocky's just all down in the dumps. He's depressed. Then Apollo Creed steps in, starts training him. And then he goes on this comeback trail, and then he finds himself, and he gets back in the ring with Clubber Lang, and he's getting beat, but he digs down deep, and he pulls off this win, becomes the champion again. I'm thinking storybook-wise, that's the way to go, but you kind of you don't want to put the belt on Zayn if he's hurt, if he can't defend it. You wind up and it winds up something like Daniel Bryan, where he has to forfeit the belt, and you don't, and with Kevin Owens going into the Elimination Chamber in 2 weeks against John Cena, you don't want to see him not be the NXT champion. So it's kind of, what do you do? So how do you book it to where Owens wins, but Zayn comes out looking strong? Or do you just fucking bury Zayn? Do you just fucking go in there and beat the shit out of him? Then maybe bring out the new #1 contender? Or do you take the belt off Owens and put it on Zayn and maybe start another feud there? Because from what I'm reading, that what happened on Monday is not officially a call up to the main roster for Kevin Owens. This is just kind of he's just visiting. This isn't like the official call up. I think this was just to kind of promote NXT, to promote TakeOver, and to kind of get some more publicity. Maybe try to get people to subscribe to the WWE Network. You show them this free event, or you show them the event TakeOver on the network. Then you feature Kevin Owens on the Elimination Chamber. Maybe get a few more subscriptions. Who knows? But my pick, and I hate to do this because I know a lot of people like Kevin Owens and like Sami Zayn. Me, I'll admit, I like Kevin Owens, but I love Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's the fucking man. I mean, he's just fucking awesome. He's a great talent, great wrestler. Got a heart big. I think he's got a heart bigger than his body. That's, and nothing but respect to him. I mean, he hurt his shoulder. He could have easily ducked out. He could have called off the match, but no, he basically hurt his rotator cuff and finished the match. Not only did he finish, I mean, he just didn't finish the fucking match. I mean, he did that little torpedo between, he did that between the ropes. And I'm doing this right now. If some of you are wondering why am I putting the camera in my face while my air conditioner just came on, and I got some complaints last time that when that happened, you couldn't understand me. So I'm going to get the microphone really close to me. So take a look at me, and here's the last thing a pizza ever sees. Okay. So with that, where was I? I lost my train of thought there. So with that being said, the only thing I could think of is you need to have a match where Kevin Owens maybe gets the win, but he has to go all out. He has to cheat. He has to dig down. Like it needs to be something to where to the aspect of Sami Zayn would have won this match had he been 100%. Maybe that's the only way I can protect people, is to have Zayn lose the match, but it's one of those, you have that doubt in your mind that, hey, had he been 100%, he would have straight up won the match. And, then he lives to fight another day. He rehabs, he comes back, challenges, wins. Everybody goes crazy again. It's redemption. It's great. Because Owens is supposed to have a long title run, and I thought I predicted Hideo Itami would be the one to take the belt off of him. But with him being hurt, I obviously think that Sami Zayn would be the logical choice now to rehab and come back. So I'm going to go kind of against my better judgment, and I'm going to go with Kevin Owens to retain the NXT Championship. Sami Zayn will probably go on the DL for a little bit, rehab, and then come back and hopefully take the belt off of him. So to recap here, kids, I'm going Corbin. I'm going Enzo and Cass. I'm going Banks, Charlotte and Bayley, Finn Balor, and Kevin Owens. So way to go. That's my picks. Now I want you to put your picks down here in the comment section. Now, as far as when can you get them in, well, you need to have them in by the start of the pay-per-view. Once the pay-per-view starts, it is locked. Your picks are locked, and you can't change them. Now, if you put them in tonight and wake up tomorrow morning and realize you made a big mistake and you want to change them, yes, you can change them, but everything has to be done before the pay-per-view starts. Once it starts, and I'm not talking the pre-show, once the actual event starts, your picks are locked and you're in. Now, let's get to tiebreaker questions. My tiebreaker questions will be, I'm going to put the Baron Corbin Rhino match, the over-under at 5 minutes. And so the first tiebreaker question, will the Baron Corbin Rhino match go over or under 5 minutes? Over or under 5 minutes? Okay. My next tiebreaker question will be, will a third person replace Hideo Itami in that triple threat match for the #1 contendership? Yes or no? Will a third person replace them? It doesn't matter who it is. All right. Then the next one is, will Uhaa Nation debut? And when I say debut, I don't necessarily mean a match. I just mean, will Uhaa Nation, will they bring them out? I mean, if they bring them out and give them a name, that counts. So will that happen? Will they bring him out? And so Uhaa Nation, will he debut in some shape, form, or fashion? It doesn't necessarily have to be a match. It can just be, hey, check out this guy that we signed. Here's his new name. That's it. Like they did with Hideo Itami when he first started. So there could be that. And then let's see. I'm trying to think about. Oh, and yeah, I got a note here on Enzo in the tag team match with Enzo Amore, Colin Cassidy, and against Blake and Murphy. Will Alexa Bliss get involved? Because remember, they've been kind of teasing, a little bit of a heel turn with her. She's been kind of taking sides with it. Remember, there was the slap in the back. Then there was the match when Carmella lost. It was distracted by Blake and Murphy. You kind of maybe got the hint that they did it on behalf of Alexa Bliss. So does Alexa Bliss turn heel and become the valet for Blake and Murphy? So to recap the tiebreakers, Rhino Corbin, does it go over under 5 minutes? 2, God, dude, I almost forgot here. Sorry, somebody's distracting me. Will Uhaa Nation debut in any shape, form, or fashion? Will Alexa Bliss turn heel? And there's one more I'm forgetting, but anyway, we'll get to that. But get your picks in. And also, before I go, I want to say congratulations to Sarah Del Rey and well, let's just call him Prince Albert or A-Train or whatever for both their promotions. Of course, Jason Albert, he got promoted to the head trainer at NXT. Sarah Del Rey, she is the assistant head trainer, so congratulations to both of them. Absolutely, I think it's great. I think it's nothing but smooth sailing for NXT. And hey, as Dave Kokotis always says with NXT, if this is the future of the WWE, let's hit the fast forward button, because I absolutely want to see what they're going to. I mean, they're turning out great female talent. They're turning out just great talent. I mean, think about it. Neville completely over with the fans. Lucha Dragons over with the fans. Charlotte coming up. Kevin Owens stole the damn show in Richmond. Of course, the one fucking good Raw they do in my hometown, and that's the one I don't want to go to. Yeah. Whatever. All right, let me check here. And for some reason, I cannot check comments for some reason, so I wholeheartedly apologize for not being able to check your comments. In fact, I'm going to try to do something a little different. Anyways, so I can see if I can check your questions this way. And no, it's not going to let me. F me, F this. I also want to tell everybody to make sure you tune in to CocoSports.com. We got a lot of other stuff coming up. Of course, Dave and I will join forces, and we will review TakeOver once it completes. We will also try to work in a Lucha Underground review. I will be reviewing SmackDown come Thursday. Then, of course, Dave will try to review TNA. Then, of course, everything starts over again on Monday with our Raw review. And, of course, you can always find us at CocoSports.com. That's KOCOSports.com. It's your home for all combat sports. That includes boxing, mixed martial arts, pro wrestling, amateur wrestling, sumo wrestling, taekwondo, kickboxing, judo. If you can get your nose broke doing it, man, we got you covered there all over the site. We've even got our news and gossip section, which is updated daily by Rob. We've even got our very popular video on demand section. And the best part about CocoSports.com is it's all absolutely positively 100% free. So it's CocoSports.com. It's where the world goes to kick ass. All right, I finally found a way here. I'm going to try to check comments. So if you've got any in, I'll try to answer those real quick as soon as they fucking load. But my internet is being fucking slow right now. Let me try to close some of this stuff here. And no. I'm going to check you, internet, whether you like it or not. Anyway, I guess while I'm waiting for the comments to load, I guess I could tell you a funny story. I know Coco mentioned it on he mentioned it on his Raw review last night with Wrestling Rantin'. And by the way, if you're not subscribed to Wrestling Rantin', you need to subscribe to him. He's a pretty cool dude. He does some good stuff. Does much shorter reviews than what me and Dave do. But actually, I met Ryback. He was doing the media tour with WWE. And so we have like a little, it's kind of like pay for play show. It's like we'll advertise, it's kind of like a guest spot show. You pay for time or whatever, you go on there. It's kind of like cable access, but it's on on our network. And so of course he was representing the WWE, gives an interview, and um, if people want to know, like, well, what was Ryback really like? And I'll say this: he was very soft spoken. He was he was very professional. He took pictures with everybody at the station who wanted to take pictures with him. That's not where the story ends. See, after work, I went to go work out, and I have a membership at Gold's Gym. So I was going to, doing my workout routine, and I was going to after I do like a little bit of cardio, I go and do, I was doing an incline bench press, and I get onto my second set, and I was like, what the fuck? And sure enough, I see Ryback walk by. I was like, what the fuck? Ryback? Well, I was like, well, it makes sense. I think all those guys have, we have, if you like get like a certain level of membership at Gold's Gym, you can work out at any Gold's Gym anywhere. You can just scan your car and go and work out. So he was going to work out. Now, some of you were probably wanting to know, well, what does he bench? What does he bench? I'm like, well, guys, you know what? To be honest, you would have to be a complete total fucking mark to like sit there and watch, analyze Ryback's, workout and how much he was benching and what routines he went through. So anyway, I noticed as I was doing my second one, he went to like a flat bench. He was going to just do a regular bench press, and he started out with a couple 45s on each side, so that's 90 pounds. And he starts, I think he did like 2 or 3 sets of like 8 or 10, somewhere around that much. I really couldn't get it out because I was trying to get my work in too, and I wasn't going to draw any attention because one, I'd already met him, and two, I'm not going to interrupt him because that's rude. Because when you work out, that's fucking you time. When I work out, it's fucking me time. And nobody, I don't think anybody really recognized who he was, and I wasn't about to draw attention to him. They're like, oh my God, you're Ryback, you're for the WWE, and interrupt his workout. I'm not going to be that rude. Sorry. I have class, ladies and gentlemen. Class. I have a top hat and a monocle on and a curly mustache. That's what class I fucking have. So anyway, after he does a few of those, I noticed when I was moving to the next exercise, he was putting more weight on and put on another pair of 45s and a couple of 10s. So he was doing he benching about 220. And I believe he can do up to 500. That's what he had said, that he'd maxed out about 5. What he was saying at the station, when off air, just kind of offhandedly, somebody asked him, it's like, hey, I heard you could bench 500. It's like, once you start benching 500, it's like, oh, I started benching 500 when I was in high school, and and it was like, oh wow, that's kind of cool. But no, he was benching about 220. But remember, he was working with busted up ribs. That wasn't a fucking gimmick. I mean, he was really seriously telling people, well, careful, man. I hurt, careful around, I hurt my ribs. I mean, he was seriously telling people that at the station, be careful around his ribs. Don't poke him or anything. And then anyway, he started doing that, and then he went to the chest press, and that's when he fucking started grunting and groaning because he was sitting on the machine, had pulled his hood up, and had his headphones on, and was just pushing and grunting anyway. Then I wrapped up my workout, went to go shower, and when I walked out, he was up on the elliptical doing some cardio, and I was like, I'm not gonna be that guy. Oh, by the way, some of you are like, would you look around for any other WWE guys? You damn straight, I fucking looked around for other goddamn WWE guys. Well, I looked everywhere, but except for the meditation room, because I really doubt any divas or WWE guys are going to be in the meditation room. But I walked all around that gym looking around. I looked in the weight area where I primarily stay. Nobody else there. Well, WWE wise, my gym is always fucking packed. Looked in the room with area with all the treadmills, ellipticals. No, looked in the back area. Looked around the swimming pool. No there. And I thought, I just fucking left, and was like, well, that was kind of a cool experience to see. I've also been kind of curious about what a WWE guy's workout routine is, because that's something maybe I thought about doing just to see if I could do it, just to see if I could get through one of those workouts, get through a whole week worth of their workouts to see, what kind of results I would see. But anyway, that's my Ryback story. Anyway, I filled for enough time here, so let me just check out your questions. Carlos Saldana, I just butchered your name. I apologize. You guys should do this for UFC 187 as well. Well, we actually might. I'm a casual MMA fan. Dave's a little bit more hardcore about it than I. So, that maybe that's in the cards. Oh, we've already got wow. We got about 3 guys getting their picks in. So, way to go, guys. Keep your picks coming in. Let's see here. I am Mikey Mike Ashman. Do you feel this is the perfect time to debut Uha Nation? In the ring, probably not. Maybe not outside of a squash match, but as far as throwing him in like a triple threat match with Balor and Breeze, no. If he wants to squash Ty Dillinger, fine. If he wants to squash Angelo Dawkins, fine. I think they'll just bring him out, give him like a new name, give him like a gimmick, and then just take off from there. That's what I think's going to happen. But that's the question. Will Uha Nation debut? So be sure to check that out. Lennox Watterson, he's already got his picks in and tiebreakers. So congratulations, Lennox. You beat the lock. Jim Brower, he's already in. So way to go, sir. Thank you. He says I predict Kane will win everything. I love my new gimmick. Yes, you do. All right. Let me just check for any more questions. I doubt there's any newer ones, but I'll look one more time. I'll tell you what, if we happen to miss out on anything, just I'll try to answer it and stump the idiot maybe a little bit later this week. But like I said, be sure to get your predictions in. So, all right, that's going to do it for pay-per-view profits. We'll see you tomorrow night with the paper review of NXT TakeOver Unstoppable. So this is Boom Boom, and for my partner Dave Coco, I am over.